Welcome to the TDWG podcast. My name's Paul Davidson.
And I'm Scott Norman.
And today we are going to be doing a good old-fashioned Suggustion Box episode.
It's been a long time. This thing's been in retirement.
The 2021 Suggustion Box episode. This is number 4 overall that we've done?
I think so. I think that this was probably the least publicized of them, but I hope that it still has some good content in it. It
didn't help that the seniors were not wanting to do anything with school anymore.
Correct.
They were ready to be gone.
Yeah, they were out of here. So that changed the dynamic a little bit. So I'm excited to see. These are almost all from freshmen, all of these suggestions. So I'm excited to see.
I'm ready to see how many repeats we get that we've already answered 700 times. Because they don't actually listen to the older stuff. All right, so.
Some do. Shout out to the third-hour student that I have that went back and listened to the whole catalog.
Hey, there we go. More money, more problems. All right, we'll start off with this one.
Pull us out
and this one is directed towards you because
you,
even though we both have a history degree, you are the history teacher. So we need to teach this student who Alexander Hamilton is.
Okay, so Alexander Hamilton, considered to be one of the founding fathers. In the most basic form, he was kind of a controversial ally of George Washington that then ran across some other people. A lot of people just didn't like him, but did a lot in founding the country, siding with the Federalists, helping push forward what became the modern government of the United States.
He was the first Treasury Secretary, correct?
I think he was Treasury, yeah.
Yes.
So if you want more detail, then there are excellent biographies of him, and there's been a lot of interest in after, of course, which is why I'm sure this person put this in here, after the, I guess it's a play.
It's a musical, yes.
A musical play that just called Hamilton. Excellent music. Lin-Manuel Miranda is just great at crafting those things.
He doesn't throw away his shot.
He doesn't, and he repeats over and over again that he's not going to throw away his shot. But anyway, so if you want more information on him, I'd highly recommend the biography just called Hamilton. I forgot the author's name, but it's the one that Lin-Manuel Miranda actually read that inspired him to write the play. So anyway, there you go. That's the basics, the very basics of who Alexander Hamilton is.
And it didn't bring it up. I'm guessing it's Chernow, if I had to guess. Yes, Ron Chernow, Alexander Hamilton, is the biography. All right, your turn to pull a suggestion out of the Suggustion Box.
We'll learn TikTok dance and make a TikTok. We might just have to do that.
We might just have to. I'm not big on the TikTok, but I do have a YouTube short because I had a 40-second video I recorded showing how to upload something to Google Classroom.
So definitely comment below if you would like us to do a TikTok dance and make a short about it. That might
recommend a dance for us besides the skanky leg.
That makes it so much worse. The stanky leg. The skanky leg.
I always thought it was the skanky leg.
It makes it much more lewd sounding than the stanky leg. I'm just enjoying you dancing through high school and college on the skanky leg instead of the stanky leg. I whipped that out in class the other day because we were learning about the early the 2000s, yeah. And they talked about it. And
did you crank that soldier boy?
We did. And I said, just don't listen to the lyrics of that song too close. You realize how foul it actually is.
I actually knew somebody in college that broke his ankle cranking that soldier boy.
Did he crank it off a cliff? Did he
He cranked it into a couch and over the couch and into the floor.
Yeah, he Superman'd something.
He Superman'd his freshman year of college. All right, so the next suggestion we have are the opinions on the Mr. Norman Hate Club.
Mr. Norman Hate Club? I mean, hey, if you don't got haters, you're not doing something right. So I mean, just throwing that out there.
Whenever I told my wife about the Mr. Norman Hate Club, she was like, "Did you report that to somebody?" I was like, "I told Norman about it."
It's funny.
Yeah, I remember we told some other teachers about it who were kind of younger,
appalled.
And they were appalled. They're like, "This is part of it."
If you're doing teaching right, students will hate you. It's all good. It's all good.
Or you'll have a fan club.
I mean, that's true. He's got the fan club. I've got the hate club. I think it's actually the same group of people.
Yes, they just changed the name. Also, you have the "We'll Miss You," Coach Irby fan club.
I mean, everybody loves Irby now.
Yes. Speaking of weird things that students write and do, I've been grading finals because this is finals week as we record this. And one kid in their conclusion to their final, my final is like they reflect on like what they learned this semester. They said, and thank you to the crazy English teacher with a bald spot that is only bald because he has to release all the heat from his brain overcooking because of like craziness. So it was my favorite like explanation of why I have a bald spot ever.
Someone randomly, by the way, speaking of that, just like out of nowhere, pulled out from watching the old podcast butter on his bald spot, and I was like, "Why do you know that?" And they're like, "Well, I watched the podcast." So there you go. If you go back and look at the meme podcast, you want to know the context of that one.
Yeah, I have a lot of stories about the bald spot. If you don't mind divulging for a second.
Oh no, I'm sure this is the content the students love right
when
here.
I was at Campbell, I was like, there was a kid that was drawing something on a piece of paper, which I honestly don't care if they were drawing or whatnot. After class, they left, and they left a piece of paper on there. And I walked over to see what it was, and it was a stick figure with a bald spot going blah, 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 blah. And the title of it was How I See Mr. Davidson. That was the first time I ever felt old. That was the only time that the bald spot jokes, like, pierced and hurt.
I love though that they just straight up went political comic on the situation. Like it was like, I'm gonna leave my commentary on the society here on the desk.
There was also a former student that tried to be a sponsor of our podcast, if you remember who that was.
Yes.
And one of my favorite memories of that student is they took a blank sheet of paper, drew a circle on it, and showed it to me. I was like, okay. She's like, that is your bald spot. I was like, okay. And then he slowly picked it up and placed it on his head and stared at me. Yeah, so.
Oh gosh, we have a couple other students, just throwing this out here, who talked to me the other day who are graduated, who would
like to come
back. So anyway, what's the... Oh, you pulled last.
Yes,
I guess I
your
get to pull
turn.
next. Make slime. Why am I getting all the make things? Make slime.
It's been a while, but I can make slime, yeah.
When I sneeze.
Like, I got some slime on my shoulder from my son this morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My kids make slime all the time. But anyway, so yeah, we'll consider that. Consider that.
Let's see. This one's a good one for you. Who do you think killed Clinton Osborne?
I'm sorry. So, okay, for context, those of you who are listening and have not been in my government class or sadly had their year shortened by COVID, Donna Osborne is the accused in a court case in which we are trying to figure out whether or not she is guilty of killing her husband, Clinton. I am not going to divulge any information about that case, as I'm going to keep it tightly packed for when the current freshmen get a chance at convicting or acquitting her next year.
And all I will say is that if Clinton Osborne was a bat, it was probably Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, there is a bat involved, just a different kind.
Oh, okay.
It's a different
so
kind.
I'm still going with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Crazy train, you know. All right, I'm addressing this question to you. This person spelled all of these words wrong, but they said, "What was your first date like?"
What was my first date like?
Yes.
Which first date do you want to go with?
What was your first? We're gonna go just because hopefully our spouses just love this program. Your first date with your spouse.
Okay, first date with my wife. We got hooked up together from a mutual friend. A woman that she works with is the wife of a good friend of mine, and they kind of threw us together. Actually was texting her like that afternoon and like during school, and when she got done doing her visits, because she goes out and visits old people for her job, she was like, hey, do you want to go walk around Fred's here in town, which whenever Fred's was still open. And I just kind of said, would you rather go eat Mexican? Because I was like, I don't want to walk around Fred's, it's weird. And so anyway, she came to my house and picked me up, and we went and ate Mexican, and yeah, that was our first date.
High quality.
Yes, on January 29th, 2015.
Yeah, I don't remember the date of mine, but I remember my date on mine. So my first date with my wife was kind of an interesting first date because I'm an awkward person, and so our first date. Now we had hung out and done things that really were dates. They just didn't call them dates. We went and played disc golf and things like that. But when I actually formally asked her on a date, which is a whole fun story to tell another time as well, I think I actually have on the podcast at some point.
Just how we met our wives.
Yeah, how we met our wives. So
and I think I just said the exact same story of how I met my wife.
Probably. So anyway, our first date, we went to Trail of Tears State Park and went on a hike. And she now, in retrospect, actually...
That was me and my wife's third date.
There you go. We were ahead by 2 dates. And then she has told me since then that she thought that I didn't really like her because she said I never got within 6 feet of her the entire date. And so...
You were just, you were an early pioneer in social distancing.
I was social distancing. Also, I'm not a hugger. I just don't. I stay away from people. So now she's allowed to hug me. But yeah, no, on our first date, I apparently stayed 6 feet away from her on this hike on Trail of Tears.
I guess, like, if we were to go for, like, a first, like, date, I guess whenever I was, like, in high school, like, we would do, like, those everybody goes to a place thing, and I kind of had dates like that, but
yeah,
I wouldn't really count that as dates.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would probably be for me the first date I ever went on was took somebody bowling.
Bowling,
bowling. I am a high quality individual. I just bowling and hikes, man. I'm an excellent date.
It's a lot better than like the movie that I would normally go with like a crowd of people with.
Yeah, see, that's in movies you never get to know people. That's just not it's fun to go with friends you already know.
The secret is that you're supposed to go to the movie first and then dinner afterwards. That way you have something to talk about at dinner.
Oh, that's
as long as you didn't go watch Iron Man 3.
Yeah, call back. Call forward to another podcast that's coming out. Okay, last comment on movie theaters and dates. I can't take my wife to movie theaters on dates. Well, now because we have children, but also because literally every time I've been in a movie theater with my wife, she falls asleep in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, my wife likes to fall asleep.
Just out cold.
Movies
and then
often.
I try to wake her up. Does not matter. No matter what the movie is. At the end of the movie, I'm like, "Did you like the movie?" And she's like, "What?" And so yeah, it's just not worth it. All right.
Oh, I have the next one. It's right here in front of me. It's another list of things we need to do. One is play Fortnite. We actually tried to play Fortnite. It's just the file size for Fortnite is redonkulously large.
So we also are Apple people.
Yeah.
We both have Mac laptops. We both have iPhones now. And there's kind of a feud going on between Epic and Apple, so it's really hard to actually make that happen. But we're going to try at some point, if it's not, completely out of style by then.
Then we have Play GTA, which I haven't done since 4. Maybe?
I have never played GTA.
Vice City is fun. Vice City is one of my favorite video games. I'd highly even though you're not up on the like killing and whatnot. Vice City is fun just because of the 80s pistache.
So just to give you a background on my family and video games, my mother used to get angry when we would shoot down other planes in World War II games. Because she was like, "You just killed someone." I'm like, "No, I didn't. It's a video game." And she was
in
like,
that world, you did.
She was like, "Yeah, exactly." And she was like, "No." And I was like, "You don't see, the plane went down." And she's like, "Well, you just killed someone." So, yeah, we were never allowed to get anywhere near GTA.
Were you allowed to jump on turtles?
And actually, we never really got into that. I don't know why she never made this connection though. I always played Sim City.
Oh, you could kill
and I would send earthquakes and hurricanes on my city. Never made that connection, but anyway. So
yeah, you could kill thousands of people in SimCity.
Oh yeah, and I did. But
in The Sims, you can even directly drown people and
so
starve them to death.
I never played The Sims
and make them roll around in their own filth.
Oh god, I never played The Sims. It always bored me because I wanted to do the big picture thing. So Civilization and SimCity were my. Once again, we talked about video games, I think, at some point on a podcast. But anyway, so GTA, maybe. I've never played it.
Vice City, it's interesting. But we couldn't record it because, curse words. And last but not least, make a music video. Maybe. We do have a theme song that I wrote back when I was in high school, so, we could make the music video to that.
Yeah, oh gosh, that would be so funny. When did you realize you wanted to be a teacher? You haven't listened to our old podcasts. You should go back and listen to those. But in very brief, I had some inclination towards it at one point in high school, but then went away from it into mass comm. And then in college, there was a point where I was just kind of praying about what I needed to do, and I really felt like God was like, dude, go be a teacher. And so I got in the program and had a blast, and so I stuck with it. So
Mine's kind of similar. I started off with I went through a bunch of different majors, and each major kept on pointing back to teaching. So I decided to transfer from Arkansas State up to SEMO because it's considered a better teaching school, and started majoring in teaching. And I didn't really become a teacher or fall in love with teaching until I actually started teaching. Once during the first year teaching is whenever I would feel like I officially wanted to become a teacher, even though I went through the process of becoming a teacher, which my mother is a teacher, my sister is a teacher, my other sister is a teacher. I come from the family branch of teachers. So.
So there you go. There's the brief story. If you want the full story, go back to Spilling the Tea on Teaching, I think was the podcast where we went in depth.
Yes, not a lot of people listen to that one because it didn't have Mr. Angotti throwing things at squirrels.
Yeah, that's true. Also an excellent episode.
Yes. All right, mine is React to 42 Doug.
Okay, so I have pulled up. I looked him up. His name is Dion Marquise Hayes.
He's a rapper.
He's a rapper. So here, let's look at him. Look, he's a dude.
Yeah, he looks like he falls in line with kind of I hope he's not like a mumble rapper, because I'm not a big fan of mumble rappers. I'll give him a listen. I'll give him a listen, not right now, of course, but I will give him a listen and let you know my thoughts. Maybe if we do shorts, I will listen to it and review what I thought of his song.
He also was apparently busted last year for fleeing cops for 2 months for a traffic violation.
And he's from Detroit. Oh, he's trap music. He does trap music.
Well, there you go. I'd prefer trap over mumble rap.
Yeah. So apparently he associated acts is Little Baby. I know Little Baby. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll give him a listen, and we'll give you an FYI of what we thought.
Yeah, that might be a short there. Yeah. That might be a short.
All right. Your turn.
All right. Let's reach in here. Okay. The largest one in the box. You can hear me unfolding this thing. This is a direct response to the fact that someone said play Minecraft, and I told the students, give us something to do. Not just play Minecraft. You can literally play endlessly. So they gave us a list of things. They said, play Minecraft and kill the dragon. What?
I know about killing the dragon.
Yeah.
I have never killed the dragon.
I have not either. When I play Minecraft, which is rarely now, although I had it on my phone for a while, I would always just build stuff.
I would cover things in water. It was very zen.
He
I would go and I would go to the ocean or the lake and just start spreading it out as much as possible. Then I'd get the buckets, as you mentioned. It took me forever to realize I could get buckets and dump on top of mountains and let it go. So it would just be me trying to make Waterworld one block at a time. And it was very zen.
Is it John Travolta? Who's the star of Waterworld?
Oh, that's Kevin Costner.
Yeah, that's right.
I was trying to make a place for Kevin. I wanted Kevin.
If you build it, he will come.
I wanted Kevin Costner to show up in my Minecraft world.
That was a great layered meta joke. All right, so anyway, next up, finding diamonds. We could probably handle that.
I found diamonds in Minecraft.
I have done that. Go to the Nether. Never done that.
I've done that.
I've never done that. Only Norman gets blown up by a creeper.
Well, I'm not Norman, so I haven't done that.
Thank you.
I've not been killed by a creeper, but I've been
exploded. Yes. Yeah. We have build. Actually, it says bullied. We have to bullied an extreme house. I think they meant build, but it says bullied. Build an extreme house. That's pretty much all I've ever done in Minecraft. Is just build. I like building them way up in the sky, and then building this whole platform where I can look down on everything below me, and then descend into it when I want to.
I'm like a hobbit. I build a hobbit hole.
You would make a good hobbit, I feel like. Anyway.
Well, I normally play dwarves, but, if I have to... hobbit is the way to go, then I'll go hobbit.
Are your feet really hairy?
Yeah, kind of.
There you go.
My toes are. The tops of my feet aren't, though, so I wouldn't necessarily be...
There's a short for you. We'll compare feet.
No, you don't want to see my nasty feet.
That'll never happen. You remember when the students went around taking pictures of teachers' feet for a project?
Yeah.
Yeah, I volunteered my feet for that.
Yeah, I did too, I think.
That was weird. Anyway, You and Davidson fight to the death with enchanted armor on a platform. I've never enchanted armor. I don't know how to enchant armor. But fight to the death on a platform, we can handle. Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
there's Minecraft.
My next one is, how are you so fast, Mr. Norman?
I mean, what can I say? I am gifted. No, I mean, I am slowing down rapidly at this juncture. I used to be faster. If you take one look at me in person, you know that I didn't make the football team for 3 years on my size or my, strength. So I made it on one thing, and that was speed. Also, probably to help boost the team GPA. There's probably a little bit of that in there. But anyway, so I don't know. God made me fast.
I don't have good long distance speed, but I have good short distance speed.
Well, I mean there's a short right there.
Yeah.
Let's see who wins.
You probably would win. All right. I'm out of shape with running. All right. And our penultimate one
Yes.
is Rap Battle, which we have tried before and failed. But we might give it another shot.
We did do a dance battle live
Yes,
one
we
time.
did. You can check out the Homecoming live show at the very end of it to see that. We could
Sadness.
eat mukbang, which are basically us eating food on TV. We thought about that. We thought about doing that. And then, of course, the last one, which you were doing, AMSR.
Yeah, so ASMR, that's people do ASMR mukbangs, mukbang. I have no idea how to say that word. Yeah, so ASMR might have to happen. We've had it requested so many times, and the times that I've done it on the podcast, everyone gets angry because I do it for a brief moment and then yell or something, and I think it's funny, but I've broken eardrums, I think. Final one, and I wholeheartedly agree with this. All of our listeners, tell your friends, tell them to tell their friends. In all caps, with exclamation points, it says, get Coach Irby on there. I agree. Coach Irby, this is your challenge.
We've invited him on. He denies that we've invited him
We've
on.
invited him tons of times. We got his son who is graduating. So in a week, I can say his name, but his son who is graduating even tried to help us lobby him to come on for a bracket. Wouldn't do it. So work on him. Get Irby on here. Next guest, get Irby on here.
All right. But hey, I think the Suggustion Box, even the classic old school Suggustion Box.
I did. I went with the old school Suggustion Box. I broke it out.
That the Suggustion Box is empty, so I guess until next time, my name's been Paul Davidson.
My name is, and Lord willing, will be Scott Norman.
And we've been two
Dumb Woke Guys.
This was a TDWG presentation.